Welcome back to the In Pursuit podcast. Today we have Michelle O'Donovan. Should I be welcoming them back to the podcast, or should I be welcoming you to the podcast? Or should I be welcoming them to our conversation?
Mainly them to our conversation, but you can welcome us all, because I'm new as well.
Fair. Yeah, you're new on the show.
I'm new on the show.
But they're new to our conversations because we have super in-depth conversations all the time.
Yeah. Welcome everyone, but also stop eavesdropping.
So we're just going to let them look in on our conversation.
Yeah.
Fair.
This is a very official conversation.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because all of them have just been so chillaxed.
Yeah.
But this is going to be the same. Why does this have to be any different?
Because there's
That's what
lighting,
people want.
camera.
People want that authenticity. People don't want.
Right,
to
let's
be,
go this to the
scripting it,
kitchen, guys. And we're going to go cooking and making tea and doing our steps around the kitchen.
No, what it is so for context, me and Michelle actually, we live in the same house.
Whoop, whoop.
So she'd be after having her dinner, and she'd be just on her phone. I'd come in to make my dinner, and then I just get roped into full on 2-hour
The
conversation.
depths of my life.
Yeah.
He's like my at-home therapist.
So we're like, okay, why don't we just put this on camera and actually get something productive from it, Because
Yeah.
so yeah, what is this on Sheltering Shelley?
Basically, I'm trying to even think now again. I started it on the 1st of January.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So this is like
is
something
literally-
that started on the 1st of January but has actually kept going.
Yeah.
Nice.
Started the 1st of January. Now, I've been wanting to do social media for a while. But I also was every young Irish teenager who has interest in makeup and anything girly wants to do social media at some stage. So
I think for women it's whoever has an interest in makeup and that.
yeah.
But for men it's if you have an interest in any form of sports or fitness.
Yeah.
To go to the gym you automatically are presumed, why aren't you on social media?
Exactly. So
There you go.
I loved makeup growing up or whatever. So I always was oh yeah, I'm gonna be Shelley MUA and all this sort of stuff. But every other person was a MUA. So I was I'm not doing that. Never. And then Tying became a bloody influencer, whatever, TikToker. It's still weird saying that he's doing that stuff. So then I suppose it kind of became a reality that do you know what, he's doing it. Why can't I? And then I don't know, I just stuck in this limbo of life where you're just living or you're living, but you're not living. So then I don't know, last year was a big change year, quit my job and all that sort of stuff, and I decided at the end of last year I'm just gonna actually live my life, because I don't know, maybe it's an Irish mentality of I couldn't do that now. Geez, that's a lot of effort to put into that now or whatever.
Yeah.
And
No one else is doing it. Why would you bother doing it?
yeah, or even the other issue, everyone is doing it, so why would I bother? Do you know?
Gotcha.
And then I don't know, last year I decided, fuck it. That was kind of my mentality for 2024. I'm going to go in totally new me, just going to do everything that I've always kind of wanted to do, and see what comes of it. And Unsheltering Shelley arose.
So what is Unsheltering Shelley? It's you
Me trying
unsheltering yourself. So how let's talk about that.
So obviously I started the 1st of January. Biggest change is I'm vlogging my life. Where
So was that the intention first? Was it just start documenting your life or vlogging your life, as you say?
well, I suppose it was starting off with a bit of accountability and also kind of maybe awareness. I don't know. I don't know. Towards the end of last year, I suppose I felt I was very not alone, because I have my friends, I have my family and all that sort of stuff, but I had very few people who thought the same way as I did.
So you felt very isolated.
Yeah, kind of.
Yes, I get you.
And I suppose Unsheltering Shelley is kind of, I don't know, maybe helping like-minded people maybe find each other or help other people my age. I know I talked to a load of people my age, mainly women, being saying their early 20s is really lonely. I didn't go to college, I didn't do any of that, I just kind of went straight working, and I'm not really friends with many people my age, so I didn't have the stereotypical early 20s life of going to college, partying, all these different clubs and stuff. I wasn't part of any teams. So it's kind of hard to make new friends outside of like your school friends or whatever once you're like that. So I suppose on Sheltering Shelly was kind of to bring a bit more awareness of that as well. No, I haven't really talked too much about it yet, but it is still on the cards. But like even at the moment, it's mostly like about running because that is my big goal for the year so far. My first big goal of the year, to run a half marathon. So at the moment, that is the kind of focus. But like there was, I think, is it one of my first few videos? I'm kind of explaining a few of my goals for the year and trying new things. So like trying like new foods because like I'd say I have a very like bland palate.
I think every Irish, if you come from like that normal Irish background, like
you just
where your parents just give you the basic food, like anything outside that is like
potatoes,
foreign,
meat, veg.
That's it.
That's on every plate.
That's all they have. Like
exactly. No, I'm not complaining. I love a roast dinner, like, but like. I love my enchiladas, my fajitas, and
those words are like foreign when you're small. Like
you even have to say it in like a kind of fun way because it's Mexican.
Yeah.
Ay. I don't know what that was, but like I don't know, trying new things. Like I've always wanted to do guitar, so hopefully maybe towards the end of the year I might get myself a guitar. I don't know.
Oh, so this is you making this announcement now that you're going playing guitar. So this is going to be the accountability for you to do it.
I think I mentioned it on the other video. You can't do that because like
I'll post this little clip now in like 6 months from now and be like, did
you do the guitar?
Get the guitar, yeah.
Me over in Australia, like being like, I don't even know what a guitar is anymore. But yeah, no, I suppose it's a mixture of everything, kind of accountability, awareness, whatever I want it to be. But yeah, definitely me just it definitely helps me have the mentality of don't say no to anything because you actually don't know what you might enjoy. So like even this year, the amount of things that I've done in the last, 1st of May, 4 months that I've done that I would never have done.
What are some of those things?
I met up with a load of strangers multiple times, quite a lot, which I would never have done because it would always been bred into me, like basically stranger danger, like don't meet up with them. And like I joined these WhatsApp groups and basically it's just a whole bunch of like Irish people who just want to like meet people, to go for coffee, to go for a walk, to go for a hike or whatever.
Trying new things.
Yeah, exactly. So I ended up going to the sauna in Black Rock and met like 20 strangers and then we all went for coffee. But like it's so weird because I had no bother going half naked into a sauna with 20 strangers and ice baths afterwards and all this sort of stuff. But then was it 2 or 3 weeks later I was like, do you know what, I'd love to do a sauna for myself. And like I went out to Garrettstown, booked it and everything, like within the space of an hour. I was on my way home from work, booked it, and then had to go out to Garrettstown within like the hour. And I was having like a panic attack in the car to go out to a sauna on my own. But I was
2 to 3 weeks ago you went with 20 people.
Yeah.
That you didn't even know.
Exactly. Like it makes no sense. Like this like anxiety about being alone. So I think that's definitely like part of it as well, trying to get more comfortable with these things that I'm not usually comfortable. Like I went on a shopping trip to Man Point on my own there one day and went to Nando's for like food because I was hungry. And I was so awkward, so uncomfortable because I was like, oh my God, like, do I look lonely? And sure, no one's looking at me.
That's the thing, like,
nobody at all takes any notice if someone's sitting there on their own. Obviously, you know, if I was crying sitting on my own, then someone would probably be like, I'd hope someone would be like, are you all right? But like, I don't know. I just uncomfortable with myself, but I know I shouldn't be because I'm class.
I think it's just like in those like situations though, like it's almost like a pressure that you should be with someone else, or that you should be with people when you're in these situations. That's where you kind of feel a little bit
awkward.
Yeah, awkward, like
are people looking at me?
Even the way there's like, is there anyone else coming? Or is kind of thing?
It's that sort of stuff. No, like anytime that I have done something on my own, no one's actually questioned it. So like, it definitely made me realise, actually, it's not that weird.
Like you said, I realised no one actually gives a fuck. Like,
Literally, no one gives a damn about you.
and like the thing that we care about most in is like we care about what those people think
Exactly.
of us, even though they don't give a shit. Like, 'cause they only care about themselves the same way we only care about ourselves.
Exactly.
At the end of it, like when you get down deep, like deep enough, like
Yeah. So I don't know, there's like a lot of learning. So like I met those strangers, and like from that I ended up meeting more strangers. Went to had like 2 nights out in Larney with these strangers. Like even Paddy's Day, I wasn't even supposed to go out Paddy's Day. And on the Wednesday beforehand, one of the girls was like, go on, come down to Killarney. So I was like, grand. Went down to Killarney, or not even. I was just going to go and like drive home that night. And then she was saying, oh, another girl from Cork wants to come down and she'll stay if you want to share a room. So I was like, sure, go on. Literally.
go for it. Why not?
Like that Monday, I was
That's
like,
what we're doing.
I should never book a room with a stranger because I don't even know, like, what about my belongings? What about this, that and the other? Like, I shouldn't book a room with a stranger. And then on the Monday or on the Wednesday, I booked a room with a stranger. And met her 5 minutes before the Bandon Parade. She joined the Bandon Parade. And then we went down to Killarney for a great night out. Like that. Me last year.
All just from meeting through a WhatsApp group, like.
Yeah.
But wait, so who? It's Robin's. WhatsApp
It's the
group,
life
right?
of Robin. She's she's from Tipperary, but she lives in Kinsale. So like people, what she's most famous for really is the eating my way around Cork. And she'll just show like all these different places and like how expensive or how cheap and how good and how bad the food is. And she makes everything look absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Like the amount of places in Cork that you can eat. Insane. But anyways, she has this WhatsApp group. It's called Into Life. So it's all for people who just want to live their best life. Like, doesn't matter what age. Like, I suppose, like, from what I've seen, the youngest I've met is 18, 19. The oldest I've met is 32 to 35. So, like, huge range of people. A huge, like, between Cork, Kerry, Waterford, Wexford, Dublin, all over Ireland. And then we have like these little subcategories because there was like over like 400 people in this.
For real, yeah.
Oh my God, it's huge. So like we have little sub like group chats now. So we just have a Cork one now, or a little Kerry one and whatever. Very cutesy. But yeah, that WhatsApp group is, it's very dramatic to say, but life changing. Because like I wouldn't be like.
You wouldn't have met half of those people, like.
Yeah, and they're such nice people because they're like like-minded people, and they're all supportive and nice and like happy to meet.
And they
other
want
people.
to do crazy shit. They want to go and explore, like. Yeah.
They're as daft as I am, like, so it's great.
And ideally, you can meet people just as crazy as you.
Exactly, yeah, because sure they're open to meeting absolute strangers as well. No, I don't recommend, like, obviously if they're a bit creepy on the internet, don't go meet them. Like, don't go meeting strangers if you don't think it's safe. But I felt safe, so it was okay.
So you've been to a sauna with 20 people.
Yeah.
There was more, wasn't there?
There was more. What else have I done?
Didn't you go like do some yoga at the beach?
I did yoga at
That
the
was
beach
that
as
was
well.
a crazy story as well.
That was intense. It was a fun experience. Strange, but strange to me because I feel like in that situation I have never felt like more of a culture. Never felt more of like a farmer's daughter. I'm not a farmer's daughter, but like in my head I felt like a.
You're almost like borderline, kind of like.
Kind
Your
of.
father's kind of like.
Mom and Dad both came from farms.
Yeah, so they have that kind of mentality. Yeah.
Exactly, like the old Irish mentality.
Yeah.
Like
They're traditional, you could say, like. Yeah.
exactly. It's a great mentality, but like when you meet like.
People who are polar opposite,
I
like
was going to say city folk.
city folk. Fair.
You
They are
feel
polar
extra-
opposite to the country guys.
They are like you wouldn't catch a farmer out on the beach do yoga like.
Not a chance.
Like, not
what
a-
the fuck are they doing up there?
Yeah. So like I did yoga on the beach. Now first of all, like I was not prepared for it at all. Like I went there wearing like J shorts, and next thing I was doing downward dog, and sure, like I was on show to half the country. Like that just wasn't smart. And then I was lucky with the girl that was like next to me. I found out afterwards she's like my brother-in-law's cousin. So tiny world. But we were just giggling throughout the whole thing because we kept falling, and I had no balance at all how to do yoga. I thought I had somebody.
They're in the sand as well, like, isn't it? So that's
Yeah.
more difficult.
And like I claim I was on a bit of a gradient, so like I was already at a bit of a disadvantage. Right? So just saying that. Putting it out there.
Yeah.
I would have been better if I was on flat land. But yeah, no, I can't do yoga at all. Not flexible. I can't bend nothing. I totally forgot how bad I am with my lesson rights, because she was saying, and you do this and point this toe left words and do that right words and whatever. And every time she said left and right, I had to do this.
Really?
Yeah, I'm so bad at my left and rights. Like I'm not too bad when I'm
What does this
driving.
mean? Like this left? Right.
Yeah, left, because you're
L, like.
L.
But this is just, what's it then?
It's not an L.
So it's clearly not left.
So it has to be right.
Logic right there.
Yeah. Yeah, so you always have to do that. I was even like messing before that. I'd have to get like a little tattoo of an L and an or, so that I don't have to publicly do this every single time. So I just go left and right. But yeah, so I forgot how bad I am with my lesson rights. And then your one next to me left me to go to the sauna first, because there was 3 like groups of like.
So what? So it was. So it's. Let's go back to that. So you're doing yoga.
Yeah.
Then you all go to the sauna after.
Oh yeah, then the sauna and
Okay.
the beach. So you
So when you're doing your yoga session,
did my yoga session. We all did like a group yoga
you
session.
fell over like 100 times. And you're giggling with your friend.
Yeah, that's like literally. Thank God it was really windy because the instructor couldn't hear us giggling. And like at one point, like it was silent for like the whole thing except for your one talking. And next thing, music came out of nowhere. And because, you know, when you're like doing yoga, you're supposed to be zen and like away with the fairies
moment,
kind of,
like-
or whatever. Maybe that's the wrong way to put it, not away with the fairies. But
It's as well. It's all about being present, isn't it? And just being in your body, isn't it?
Exactly.
What it's all about. Like.
and next thing, there was this music started playing. And I was like, am I the only person who is suddenly hearing music?
You thought you were hallucinating or
I
something.
thought I was going crazy because I was like, where this music wasn't here all along. And I couldn't see a speaker. I couldn't see, and no one else was looking around to see where the hell did this music suddenly come from. So I had to turn to your one. I was like, can you hear the music too? And she burst out laughing. She was like, yeah, of course I can. I was like, oh, thank God, I'm not going crazy. So
Where was the music?
She had a little tiny speaker.
Also, as the instructor had the music.
Yeah. But it just came on like towards the end, and I was like, am I the only one hearing this? I actually thought I was going crazy for most of the yoga session. But so did the yoga session, and then we were split into like 3 groups. So the first group went into the sauna while the other 2 groups waited, and then group number 2 would go in, and I was in group number 3. And I found out afterwards, group number 3 was basically the yoga instructor's friends and whoever was left over, basically.
Mm.
So, like, I was group number 3, and I was with the yoga instructor's friends and everyone who is into yoga and all this sort of stuff.
Also, they're like proper,
Oh,
like
proper,
gross and, like,
proper. And me hadn't done yoga in my whole life. So it was a bit of a strange experience for me, really. I tried to, like, be nice. But,
a
like,
unique experience.
unique. That's the word.
Yes.
It was a very unique experience. Because like they all went into the sauna, the first group, and next thing we were doing acro yoga.
Acro yoga. Okay.
The best way for me to explain it for like us young Irish country folk is, do you ever remember when you were younger and if you were with like your cousins or your friends or whatever, and you lie down on the ground and you do this and you lift them up and you're like a little plane?
Yeah.
That's acro yoga.
Oh yeah.
There's an official term for that, whereas I'm like, let's do the airplane. So anyways, I had to do this with some random guy on the street, on the beach, because I, like, my only one friend that I only met 10 minutes beforehand was gone into
Different group.
the sauna. So I was just sitting there and I was ready to just watch everyone else do it. And then your man came up to me and was like, do you want to go? And I was like, all right, okay. So next thing, he was barefoot, and I'm weird about feet anyways. So he was lifting me up, and then he wanted me to let go and actually balance just simply by his feet on my hips.
Seriously, so this guy's just up overhead and you're...
No. I'm overhead of him.
Oh, right.
He's lifting me up, and then he's telling me to let go, and I'm like, not a fucking hope am I letting go, because I'm going to go flying, or I'm going to squash you. And like he was there going, you got this, you can do this. And I was like, no, not at all. And then this other one was coming over, was trying to help us, and she was trying to hold my hand, and he was holding my hand, and I was there going, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this. So I think in total I let go for a split second. So like, that's good.
Take it.
So then
Win.
I was like, yeah, you can put me down now. And he was like, okay, now you do me. So I had to lift this like fully grown man with my legs, and like, I claim my legs are very strong, but not in that circumstances. And
But you can squat people. Like, what do you want about? Like, so
I can
you
squat
should be
people.
well able for this. So
But I can't. I had to lift him up. With my
it's like doing a squat upside down. Like,
I know, but I wasn't subconsciously ready for this. I was like, what the hell is going on? So next thing, and then he was trying to let go of me. I was like, no, you're not falling on top of me, like. And like, then because I had to put my feet on his hips, and like, look, he was a boy, so I had to be very careful of my foot positioning too, like. It was a lot. And then we ended up doing a human pyramid afterwards, which was again part of acro yoga, apparently. Again,
So like people at the bottom and then like stacking it up. Yeah.
I had 3 rows of people on top of me. Because I'm a beast. But yeah, no, it was like, that was strange. And then next thing, next group were going into the sauna. Still, I was left with just the pure yoga heads. I don't know if that's like an insulting term. I hope not. But proper
Yoga heads.
yoga people, like, and like,
Yoga fanatics.
I work in a deli. So when people ask me, oh, like, what do you work as? I'm like, oh, Dunnes Stores, I'm a deli cook. You know, I cook the chickens that you buy, your roast chickens. They're one of a kind. And like, I was saying that, and they were like, I'm a vegan.
No way.
And instantly I was like, oh God, how am I even going to talk? Because all I do is cook chickens and goujons and sastros. Like, we don't have anything vegan in the deli. Maybe the potato cubes, maybe the wedges, but like, no vegan stuff anyways, really. But like, and also, except for my one cousin, I think any vegan that I have met has been like, I'm a vegan, you know, so you can't even talk about meat around the vegans.
Oh, they're like proper
Vegan vegans. So I was like, oh God, what do I do? And then like, next thing, like, your man was chatting away to me. It was grand. And then some other guys started coming over and we were chatting to him. And then they were talking about brown eyes. And then your man was like, I can't believe I've just been talking to you for the last 10 minutes and I never noticed your eyes are brown. And I was like, okay. And he was like, I usually am comfortable around people with brown eyes. I was like, oh, okay. Like, what do you say to that?
Yeah.
It was, it was just a statement, like, and you're kind of like, all right. Like, I don't
get away from me, so like
I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. Like, I suppose you're comfortable around me. That's nice, I suppose. And then next thing, I don't know. Then we got on to talking about astrology signs and star signs, and like, your man was asking me. This is a different guy. He was asking me like what my star sign is. I was like, oh, I'm a Gemini because I'm born in June, whatever. And he was like, and what's your rising? And I was like, I don't know. And he was saying, I think the rising is where the sun is positioned when you were born or something. Okay. So apparently your like star sign is like what you are truly to yourself when you're alone. But you're rising what you are presented to other people or something. Yeah, okay. So like, I'm a Gemini, but like, I could be like a Leo, and that's what I show out to the world, apparently.
Okay.
I have no idea.
He was telling you what
he was educating me. I did no research on this at all. And he was like, oh, Gemini, I think you're supposed to be very two-faced.
Are you very two-faced, Michelle?
And he was asking me, am I two-faced? I was like, I don't think I am. And he was like, no, you're a Gemini, so you was basically telling me I had to be two-faced. And I was like, but are we not all like a little bit two-faced? He was like, no. You're a Gemini, so you are two-faced. And I was like, okay.
But Joe, like, the thing with like star signs, then, like, Joe, like, you're given these labels as like, this is who you are, but like, it's not like you're not like what this star sign says. Like, I know disrespect to people who are into them, because there's obviously maybe there's something.
Yeah.
From my point of view, if you like read this book, like, this is who you should be. If you believe that, then you're going to become that. Like, but
exactly.
That doesn't mean that that's who you are. Like,
but like
it's not a blueprint for who you should be. Like,
not every single Gemini in the world is going to be the exact same as me. Like,
that's the thing. Like,
because I'm one of a kind.
Just got to create a whole different star sign.
Yeah, I'm my own star sign. But yeah, he was basically telling me that I am two-faced, and I was kind of like, but are we not all like a little bit two-faced? Like, I don't know, maybe I am actually just two-faced, but like, you will kind of catch yourself like saying, oh yeah, you look lovely, in your head going, not really though. Like, I'm not saying that I do that all the time, but like, there has been occasions where like, you have found yourself being two-faced. It's not just me, right?
I do, yeah. Like, you can be like, would you call it two-faced? It's kind of like, you don't...
You just don't tell the full truth.
Yeah, like, just to make sure you don't hurt the other person's feelings, I suppose.
Yeah.
Then maybe you could call it a little bit of people-pleasing too, maybe.
Yeah.
If it's you're not, like, confident enough to, like, say it to their face kind of thing.
Yeah.
This is, yeah, there's loads of different ways. Look.
Exactly, but like, I don't know. I don't think I'm two-faced. You can all tell me
if someone was to tell you, if I said to you, Michelle, you're two-faced, if I was to tell you that every single day, and if you're to believe it, that's
you're
what
going to become two-faced, like.
So, like, that's why I'm not a big fan of these things. Like,
No.
Like,
like, I took, like, everything he said, I took with a pinch of salt anyway, because I was like, because later on, we were in the sauna. And first of all, they decided they were going to add, like, essential oils to the, like, water that we put into the sauna thingy.
Yeah.
And
most saunas have some oils or something in the water anyway.
yeah.
But they added their own one, is it?
No, they found this one outside, and they were like trying to drop it in, and he couldn't see if the drops were going in. So he just took the lid off and just poured it in. So next thing, and it was called patchouli.
Patchouli, okay.
And apparently, now my sense of smell is horrendous. So apparently, this smell is like supposed to remind you of like an old granny.
Oh, that kind of granny house smell kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like when you go to grandparents' house, that kind of scent or something.
Yeah, apparently. Now, like, I can't say whether it smelled like that to me. I don't think it did, but I didn't have any other...
So strong you couldn't smell anything.
Oh my God, you could actually start tasting it, because it was so strong, because he poured in half the bottle, like. And then they were giggling at the name patchouli. And then, like, your man started screaming in the sauna. Like, I don't know, we were all kind of half chatting, like, spiritual stuff and whatever. And next thing, your man just started going, ah.
Well, like that, like.
Just, like, a little bit louder, I didn't want conscious of the mic right there.
Yeah.
But, like, he was, like, screaming. And, like, we were all kind of, like, looking around, like, what the fuck? And next thing, the instructor did it too, so she joined in. Next thing, this whole sauna, there was about 8 of us in the sauna, just all started screaming.
Did you join in?
No, I didn't. So all you would hear was the screaming and me going...
You're just like so uncomfortable, all these people screaming, yeah.
And then they started like questioning me why I'm smiling and giggling, and I'm like, oh, do you know, I'm just not used to this sort of experience, whatever. And they were like, why? I was like, oh, do you know, I just never done yoga on the beach before, and I'd never been in a sauna with yoga people. Like, I don't know what to say, like. And then they started talking about toothpaste. I can't remember how they got onto this topic of toothpaste. And then they gave me a whole education on toothpaste. And that basically, because see, background story, I used to be a dental nurse for an orthodontist. And next thing, your man started telling me about how clean his teeth are. But he cleans his teeth with coconut oil. That's his toothbrush, or his toothpaste is like some mixture of coconut oil and, I don't know, some other herbs or whatever. And he was saying that, like, up the top of his teeth, he felt like it was always dirty until he started using this coconut oil. And then now it's smooth. Now it's like super, like, you run your teeth across it and you're like, smooth.
Yeah.
And in my head, all I could think of was, that's because you're covering your teeth in oil. Like, oil will have that, like, layer of... Now, I could be totally wrong. I'm no expert. But, like, you're cleaning your teeth with coconut oil. Of course, it's going to be, like, a layer of smoothness, like. But he was telling me that, like, that the normal toothpaste that I buy in the shop blocks my brain from, I don't know, sensing the real world, that the fluoride is, like, blocks my transmitters and whatever. And then was essentially that if I stopped using that and used, like, this organic toothpaste, that I'd essentially become a tree hugger, because I'd see the world for its true beauty then. And I was like...
Just by changing your toothpaste?
Apparently. By blocking out all the fluoride. Sorry, Mom was just outside going... I don't know what that was
Asking
about.
if you want dinner.
Honestly. But yeah, so that was the yoga experience. It was bizarre. It was funny. I'd definitely do it again because I got some great stories from it. Because like even when he was asking me about like my star signs or whatever, he was asking me what is my spirit animal, and I at the time didn't know exactly like I still don't know what my spirit animal is, but I was like, I think it's like something like a monkey or a snake or something like that. And I was trying to think, I was thinking really hard, and he was kind of looking at me like as if I had two heads, kind of like they're not spirit animals, like. And I was trying to think, I was like, it's something like that. And I was like, oh, I know that's the Chinese New Year calendar. And the look of disgust on your man's face that I mixed up the two, like, it was hilarious. But yeah, that was my other trying new things thing this year.
Well, so like, what made you want to try that then, though?
I hadn't done it before, so why not? I literally just saw it on Instagram one day and I was like, I'm free that evening, I'll book it. And then I kind of forgot about it, and then I was like, oh shit, that's on tonight. So I had to go.
That's such a great mentality, though. Like, oh, let's do it.
Yeah, that's my mentality for this whole year. It's kind of like, I haven't done that before. Let's go.
So that's literally the whole underlying like mission of unsheltering with Shelley. It's like unsheltering this. Yeah, let's just try it.
Yeah, and like you don't know what you actually are interested in unless you try it. Like I remember going to secondary school, going, right, I'm going to do music, home ec, art, and I'll do Irish, and I'll be amazing. It's going to be fantastic. I ended up doing DCG, construction, ag science, just because I hated home ec. I hated art. No, I didn't hate them. They were fine. I just couldn't study them. Music, I did enjoy, but that's because I liked to sing in the classroom, and Sapphire used to play piano next to me, so it was like grand. It was a nice DOS class, like. But yeah, I ended up not even doing that in the end. So like, you don't know what you enjoy until you actually do it, like.
100%.
So
especially because you mentioned as well, like you came from school, and it's like, it's what I kind of understand is like it's hard to kind of navigate these early 20s, and like you said, other people say they find themselves isolated in their early 20s.
Yeah.
It's true though, like, 'cause I even experienced the same. Like, it's like you just like separated from these school people, and you're trying to find your way in this new world, like, and you just like, there's kind of like no blueprint to follow. There's like no like, just gotta figure it out and
just have to go with it, like. But because like I suppose even for us, because like we went to school together as well. We finished. Did you finish the year before me? You finished the same year as me.
The same year, yeah.
Same year, yeah. So we finished in 2020, so we didn't even like finish school.
It was just properly. Like one day I was like, oh, we'll be back in 2 weeks' time, and we're back again.
12th of March 2020, it was, we'll be back in 2 weeks. Like. Yeah, 6th year. Didn't even do our leaving cert. You were LCA, so you probably had most of that done.
Yeah, we'd most of it. There was a couple of things we had to finish off.
Yeah, but like no leaving cert, no nothing. So like didn't get the graduation, didn't get the jobs, and then like I was so glad I didn't go to college because I wouldn't have been able to do the online stuff at all. That
seemed like hassle.
Yeah. That was horrific, just from what I could hear from other people. And like the little bit, because I did beauty therapy for like less than a year. We did a little bit of online. I hated it. I just zoned out. I was just in the class, nodding, and then on my phone. I couldn't study. I couldn't concentrate at all. You can't put a screen in front of me. Like, no. So glad didn't go to college. But also, if I went to college, I don't think I'd be in the situation that I'm in now. Not that it's a bad thing, but I'm convinced I'd have my group of friends. My I'd have my girls.
Yeah.
As because my TikTok at the moment is all like, my girls, my girls, my girls. But a lot of people actually don't have their girls. I don't know if guys have it.
So, same with lads. Like, you have like your boys, like, you have your brothers, like.
Yeah, so it's like, I suppose growing up, I would have always had this like idea of like, you have your girls and you go to their house all the time and they're like basically your sisters. It's like a sisterhood of girls. And they're your best friends forever. Like, they're basically you just with a different body. Like, it's like they're your girls. And I never had my girls as such. Like, no one that I like.
It's like since you left school, like, you haven't been able to.
But even in school, I suppose there was one or two that like if I walked into their house, it'd be like coming home, like. But like, very rarely would I have that with like my friends or whatever. I'd still like, if I was to go to a house, I'd have to wear my jeans. I have to wear my good clothes because I'm going visiting my friends. Whereas I never had that
That's thrown up in your
like I'd never go.
clothes, like.
Yeah, like I maybe one or two friends in secondary school, but like other than that, it was never like a casual like they're my best friends. Like yeah, I can like I'm part of the family. Like
But you like feel pressure to kind of have like that group of
yeah, definitely.
like you
Like-
feel it's like an expectation.
Not an it's more I probably expected it.
Yeah. Also, you put it on yourself, kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
I should have this. Yeah.
Yeah, because like I suppose like if you watch TV, there's always the girl group that are best friends. They're inseparable. If you see like I suppose even like comparing Brogans to Convent always had their cliques. They had their and like even like we're out of school 4 years, you can still see those same groups of girls sticking together. And so I am jealous of it, like quite a lot of time, because I am like, do you know, if I wanted to go to a sauna, you could just put into, and one of the girls would definitely join, like, do you know, that way. Or they'd always be out for coffees and meeting up and going for walks, maybe going for a hike and that sort of stuff. Whereas I didn't as such. No, I'm partly to blame. I never put myself into those positions either. I never asked my friends to do that. So I can't really blame anyone but myself either. But definitely have that like expectation of I need my girls. Do you know?
I hear you.
So
But you feel like you're the only. Do you feel like you're the only person who doesn't have that group?
I thought I was until I suppose the end of last year.
Until you join that group of 400 people, and you're like, oh wait,
Yeah,
there's a lot of people out here.
exactly. Well, like I suppose because I'm an open book pretty much. I talk to absolutely anyone about absolutely anything if they listen to me long enough. So the amount of people that I was like I feel like I don't have my girls, I don't have my group. I'm like, because I suppose like last year I quit my job, I kind of left my friend group at the time, and I had a breakup. So there was a lot of change there. That next thing I was just kind of like, oh God, what do I do with my spare time now? Do you know? And there was that like, oh gosh, am I the only person who is like this? So then I kind of had to force myself to talk to other people and be like, look, I feel like I'm kind of totally lonely. I don't have my friends. Can I please be your friend? Which sounds really petty and really, not petty, sorry. That sounds really cringy and really sad. But like, I was saying to people that I was comfortable with, that I had been kind of friends with, that I can kind of be like, look, this is my situation. Can I just come out with you on nights out? You don't even have to really acknowledge me. I'll just be there. I'll work away myself. Just like, let me start off the night with you and end the night with you. And in between, if I stay with you, that would be lovely. But if you want me gone, I'll go. And like the more I kind of put myself out there in that regard, the more people were like, oh yeah, do you know what? I'm actually in the same position. And I kind of thought that I was a little bit lonely as well.
There you go. You always think when you're in that situation,
Yeah.
it's only me going through this.
Yeah.
But when you open your eyes, you're like, whoa, there's actually a lot more people
Yeah.
in the same boat.
Yeah. So, yeah. And, yeah. There's a lot of talk there.
Those are kind of interesting what you said there.
That was, yeah. Well, like, I suppose, like, that's mainly what, like, I probably haven't talked about it too much on the Unsheltering Shelly, because I've been so busy with, like, training, work full time, running 3 times a week, going to the gym 3 times a week, and then also trying to, like, keep up with my family, which, like, out of everything that I've done this year, my family are definitely getting, like, the least attention, whereas, like, before, like, anyone who'd know me was, like, all she does is spend time with her family. Whereas now I'm, like, lucky to maybe see my siblings once a week. Lucky. And, like, that's definitely taking a huge hit, like.
Hit as in, like, it's affecting you, or it's just seeing him less?
Well, see, like, I love my family. So, seeing them less, one, I forget where, like, when last time I updated on my life is. Like, there was it last week. I decided I was going to do a skydive. Now, I had told everyone I'm going to do a skydive maybe sometime.
So
next
they
year.
knew that you were going to do it at some stage.
I had said it in passing whether they were registered it or not. But like last Wednesday, I just was like, yeah, I'm going doing it. So put up a video on Unsheltering Shetty, put it up, posted, made the link and everything. And next thing, I woke up the next morning. I came downstairs and it was only I was talking to you, and then I was like, oh my god, I totally forgot to tell my family I'm going to do a
Because
skydive.
someone in your family had liked your photo or something.
Yeah.
The post.
I think it was like I woke up and Mom was after liking the video, and I was like, oh my god, I totally forgot to tell my mom I'm going jumping out of a plane. Like,
Well, it was a very like impulse or spontaneous decision, wasn't it? You just going to do it now. Just going to do it now.
Yeah, it was very much, but like everything is like that, because like even like this evening now I'm going doing, like I put up on my Instagram about doing like a run, I guess short 5k slow pace for like whoever wants to join or whatever, and like totally forgot to tell my family, oh by the way, I'm inviting a load of strangers, telling everyone my exact location at this time, probably like really dangerous, but like totally forgot to tell my family that. Like they
had to see her Instagram.
They just have to learn everything through my Instagram, and I always feel bad or guilty about it, but I don't see them, and then I don't think of texting them because I'm like, oh, I'll tell them next time I see them, like, because I'm so used to seeing them like every single day, and now I see them like once a week, and I'm like, oh god, I totally forgot to tell you this whole thing happened for the last month, or we're having this argument at work, and we're doing that, and we're doing this, and next thing, just no. I don't know.
This is life as an adult, isn't it? Everyone's working, everyone's doing their own things, and it's like in the evenings they're doing their own things, you're doing your own things. It's
definitely like not seeing my family as much is definitely the thing that's affecting me the most. Like it affects me because in the back of my mind I'm constantly thinking, okay, I need to make sure I make time for them now. I need to do this, because otherwise, like, I even saw TikTok last night. If they wanted to, they would. If they wanted to see you, they would.
So you're saying like if I wanted to see them, I would, like.
Yeah, and like I obviously want to see them, but like I don't want them to think that I don't want to see them either, because I'm not making that time. But like today is my day off. Went for my laser session this morning, and then I went straight to here doing this podcast, and then straight after this I'm going to the gym, and straight after that I'm doing the 5k, and next thing is like 9 o'clock at night and I have to go to bed.
The thing is though, like you're off today, but then everyone else is working though, so you only have like the evening time to go see people then as well.
No, like my sister's not working, but like, do you know, it's like there's just...
So you can go see her after this, right? Or you can go see her later on.
But like I have to do straight away after this, like depending on time we're finished here. Like,
oh yeah, because you're a PT schedule.
I had the PT, and then that, like the PT's only half an hour, but I'll probably still be in the gym like for an hour and a half minimum, because I take really big breaks. And then at 6:30 I'm doing the run, so like I have to be in Kevin O'Leary's ready at 6:30 for anyone else who wants to join me. And then like that'll take, because we're going a slow pace tonight, half an hour, 45 minutes. And then, depending on if people hang around or not, I'm not going to be like, right, see you lads, and just leave you.
Yeah.
Do you know?
You want to interact.
Yeah.
Fun.
And then I have work tomorrow morning at 6, so I'm up at 5, so I have to go to sleep early because I have to get my 8 hours sleeping. Even though I never get my 8 hours sleeping. I'm really bad for sleeping. But like, I'd have no chance of going to sleep if I don't go to bed.
I hear you.
Do you know? So it's like trying to get
that's like
that
somebody that
balance.
That's it, yeah. You got to try and figure out how do I manage all of this stuff, like. But in that like what you think, like, does it come down to like what's most important?
Yeah.
And like trying to work around them, like.
See, like I suppose where I'm kind of stuck at the moment is, for years I've kind of put everyone else kind of in front of me. Kind of like, I know I'm exhausted now, but you know what? If I just go down to my, like, if I go visit my sister now for an hour, then like I can come up and get some sleep. But sure, then I go down to her and sure we get on great. So like we talk for hours and hours. Next thing is 3 hours later, I still haven't even eaten. I haven't done anything, and I only have 4 hours sleep. Do you know? And that's if I go to sleep as soon as my head hits the pillow, like.
So you're almost like stuck in this conflict of like trying to prioritize yourself, but also trying to like give to other people, and you're like trying to find that balance. And it's like, when you do pull back a little bit, kind of prioritizing yourself, you feel like you're neglecting other people and selfish.
And neglecting everyone. And I'm
like, think it's selfish.
I feel like I'm
Would
being
they think
selfish.
it's selfish of you though?
No.
So there you go.
But see, then I don't want them to think that they're not a priority, because they are. They're always on my mind. But like, because I've gone from such an extreme of literally, I could see them minimum like 4 times a week. And when I say minimum 4 times a week, that's a couple hours every day. Like,
Yeah.
to, you might get an hour or two on a Sunday.
I hear you. Yeah.
You know, it's
Big
such an
difference, like.
extreme. And then, like, I know me, if someone went from that extreme with me, I'd go, oh my God, what have I done wrong? Have I done something to make them pull away from me? And like, they haven't. It's just, I'm trying to do all these other things. So I don't know. It's like trying to find that balance of everything. Like, even at the moment, I'm kind of like half, because I am an athletics coach. So I'm like even pulling back from that, because I'm like, I need more time to do everything else. So I was trying to figure out what gets cut and what gets to stay.
I hear you.
So I don't know.
But what is most important to you?
See, like in my head at the moment, priorities are, because I'm doing the half marathon at the beginning of June. So obviously I need to be
Cork
doing
Half Marathon, yeah.
the Cork City half marathon.
Anyone who's there, make sure to cheer her on.
But so obviously I need to be doing the training for that. So that's, I'm trying to think how many hours a week would you put in for training for that. I don't know, 2-3 hours a week over the week. But I'm also trying to do a photo shoot for the end of the year. So I also have to go to the gym. And I have to do all that. So that's, I don't know, another 4, 5, maybe 6 hours, depending on how long I take my breaks. And then there are my priorities, like fitness wise. And then I'm working. So that's another 35 to 40 hours a week again. And then everything in between, because I'm doing the photo shoot, I have to lose weight, so I have to watch what I'm eating. So I can't just go down to someone's house and just eat whatever they're eating, because I have to track the calories and do this, that, and the other. And then I have to go shopping. Literally, I'm complaining about this, but like, this is what every single person has to do. But it's trying to...
Yeah, you're normalising it for those other people who are in the same boat as you.
Yeah. It's
We're like, you're not the only person finding this difficult.
But yeah, trying to like normalise routines of just life. Like, do you know what I'm strangely struggling with at the moment?
Okay,
The
let's hear
amount
it.
of bloody washing I have to do.
Washing, yeah.
Like, all the clothes, because obviously I'm training a lot, so I like have to like, obviously, like, my clothes get sweaty. So like, I have to do all that washing and then dry it and whatever. Like, you've probably seen the amount I'd leave my washing there for like over a week, like, and like, it's definitely going to bother everyone that lives in the house with me.
I didn't even notice it's there for a week.
Oh, well, never mind. It's okay. You don't have to notice it now. It's fine. But I just, next thing I'm done the washing, and then there's more washing. I don't know. I just can't. I'm struggling because sure, I'm never at home to do the washing either. Because like you see me, I'm never at home. But then also when I am at home, I'm spending 3 hours talking to you at the kitchen table doing nothing, like. So like, I don't know. But like, that has to be done as well. You have to have your events at the end of the day to whoever's stuck in the house with you.
I said social connection, like it's
Yeah, so I can't just walk into the kitchen and ignore James.
like some people can just like be so isolated all day.
Yeah.
I know people who just do nothing except just isolate themselves all day
Yeah.
long. Like, I don't know how to do it. Like,
Yeah, I couldn't. No.
like as humans, like you have to socially connect. Like, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's that need. Like, you have to interact with people. Like,
Yeah. Well, I definitely do anyways. But like, I don't know. Because it's so out of my routine. Because my routine was so much involved with like spending so much family time. Because I'm out of that routine and trying to find this new routine, it's strange. Like, it's not bad, but it's strange and it's weird to get used to, if that makes sense.
it's new for you. Like, it's and it's like we even said a while ago. Like, when you leave school, there's no blueprint for this. Like,
Yeah.
there's no like you can just look at this. This is where I'm at. This is what I need to do. It's not there, so you have to figure all this out. Like, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be. So I hear you. Like, it's
yeah, and even like, cause like even for like the half marathon training, like, cause Tig is doing it with me. Tig gave me like 2 different plans, and he was like, you can pick from either of these plans. And it was very much like every Monday you have to do this distance, this time, whatever. Tuesday you have a rest day, and it was like very much like you have to do this on these days, or else you're not going to do the half marathon, or you're not going to be ready for the half marathon. And I was like, that's not realistic for me and my routine. And he was like, no. Like, that's what you have to do. Because Ty's life is very much structured. He works 9 to 5, he works 9 to 6, or whatever it is. And he has very much to the second what he's going to be doing every day.
I think all men strive off structure, routine, and everything. That's why it's so important for men to have.
Yeah.
If you have no routine or structure in your day, no wonder you feel like shit and
Yeah.
you're getting nowhere. Like, you have to have that. But for women, I understand it is different.
I can't work with that then, because then I get stressed out, because I'm like, oh my God, it's 5 minutes past 1 and I was supposed to be running up. Go away, Siri. It's like 5 minutes past 1, I haven't done this, that and the other, and then I get more stressed out, whereas I'm like, okay, all I need to do today is do the run, go to work, and cook some food. No time pressure as to exactly what time. I'm like, okay, the run should take me an hour. Spare that hour there. And like, I'm going to be driving here and there, whatever. And try and have like a rough guide. But I can't plan that for 3 weeks' time, because even with my roster, I don't know. Like, I'm usually working 6 to 2 or 6 to half 3. And then I might get an odd evening here and there. So I can't be like, every Tuesday at 5 o'clock I'm going for a 5K. Because Tuesday, 3 weeks down the line, at 5 o'clock, I'm going to be working. And Duns aren't going to let me out to do a 5K.
You know? Sprint your 5K.
Exactly. So, like, I can't have that, like, structure. I'm sure I probably could figure it out if I really wanted to, but I just can't work like that. So, like, even, like, if there is a blueprint, a rough blueprint, it's not going to work for everyone.
100%.
So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you think that works best for you? So like having that like list of like those 3 or 4 things that you need to do, and then just giving yourself that day or that freedom to kind of get them done in that time.
Yeah.
So like you think, and that's worked well for you, like.
So far, it's not going to work. I know it's only a short term.
That might help someone who's watching it. They might think they're in the same situation as you. They're trying to have everything on the ball.
Yeah.
But it's just a matter of just write down your couple of things you need to do.
Exactly.
And just give yourself that
freedom
like, to get them done.
Even though I haven't done that exact marathon training, or like I know so many people who are like preparing for this half marathon, and they're like, I have to run 30 kilometers that week, or I have to run throughout the week. I have to get up to this distance and whatever. And I'm like, I ran 19k there yesterday. That's all I ran this week, or whatever it is. And they're like, but how are you prepared? And I'm like, well, I ran 19k, close enough to the 21. I haven't actually ran the 19k yet.
17's your max.
17's the max so far. But like, that was grand. And like, I still have like another 5 weeks until it. So I'm like, can't go downhill from here, surely. I could be wrong. But, it won't. So I don't know. I think everyone needs to figure out what they need to do themselves, rather than basing it off of what other people are doing, or like what TikTok tells you to do, or what Instagram tells you to do, or what this fitness coach. Like, I'm laughing at the TikTok you sent me last night about your man, like literally getting rid of all the like TikTok influence, like fitness influencers, like things.
The fitness chef, I think that's his name.
Yeah, that guy.
He just debunks all these myths and just like calls out all
completely.
These, like.
Yeah, exactly. But like a lot of them are pure shite. Like the amount of them who are like, oh, but this is a 5-minute recipe, and then I go do it, and it's like they're an hour later still struggling, like. Or like these routines that you have to do. You have to get up at 6 a.m. and you have to do this, that and the other, and you have to get it all done before 8 a.m. And I'm like, I can't do that. I don't know about you, but I definitely can't do that. Do you know? But because...
Do you think social media is a problem?
There's positives and negatives to it. It depends on who you're like following, who you're like... You have to... It depends on your mindset as well. Like... I personally don't find in like social media that much of a problem. Like, I never had issues with social media. except for I do find it hard to distinguish between like realistic like ideas. Like social media would have really pushed that girl group into my face, whereas like now I know it's not that realistic for everyone. Or like obviously there's the whole body image side of things as well on social media. Everyone's like posing and happy and whatever. And even like in that video now, what I thought was hilarious was like the amount of fitness influencers who are trying to make themselves relatable by going, see, I have rolls too. And like they might have like the tiniest roll like that, whereas I'm like a French bakery with all my rolls. Do you know, not to like insult myself, but like, do you know, they try to make themselves realistic and relatable to people that they're not going to be relatable to. As simple as like, and if anything, it actually makes you feel worse about yourself. So it's to try to get that like idea into your head that like you're not them. Like even like last night now, I was going through like, because we were talking about the photo shoot and whatever, and next thing I was going through like everyone that I know who's doing a photo shoot, and I was like, oh my god, I'm never going to look like them. I'm never going to have those abs. I'm never going to have this, that and the other. But like, they're full-time personal trainers who are in the gym all the time. I have a full-time job in the Dunn's Deli. Like, I'm not going to be in the gym all the time working out my core and my abs, and I don't have 3-4 hours to be spending doing my core, doing my cardio, doing this, that and the other. So I'm not going to look like them, like. But you just end up in this rabbit hole on social media. But then it's fantastic on the other side. Like, what I'm loving at the moment is, like, look, I'm doing really well running. But, like, my average pace will kind of be about 5:30 per kilometre. Whereas a lot of people will feel really shit about themselves if they're not doing that pace. But it's not realistic for everyone to be doing 5:30 all the time. Whereas, like, a lot of people will do a kilometre in 7 or 8 minutes. And, like, that's perfectly normal. That's fantastic. And that needs to be celebrated too. And it is. It's starting to be celebrated. I'm seeing it a whole lot more on TikTok and whatever, celebrating those people just as much as, like, the people who are doing it in, like, 4 minutes or whatever. So it can be really nice and empowering as well. So yeah, social media is like it depends on how you look at it and if you can separate that realistic side from it as well. Or like also depends what you're looking up. Because if you're constantly looking up, like, let's say, just taking running as an example, if you're a person who can only run a kilometre in 7 kilometres or in 7 minutes, which is fantastic, but like if you're constantly looking up like full-time athletes who are doing it in like maybe 3 minutes or whatever.
So like Finn Harrington, who runs 20 kilometres in 4 minutes kilometre pace.
Yeah, like
I went all of him by.
Is unbelievable. But if you're constantly only looking up those people, then your social media will only show you other people like that. Whereas if you're looking up people who are doing 7-minute kilometres and actually a bit more realistic, then you're going to find more people like that and you're going to go, actually, yeah, I am normal. Or even better, you're better than most people because most people don't run.
100%.
You know? I don't know why I keep holding my hands like this. It's like I'm holding 2 jugs or something.
To get your point across. It's all in the body language. It's
I'm
not
like a
how you use
Buddha.
hands. Action is in the hands.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think, like, social media can, like, at the moment, like, even since I started my own Sheltering Shelly TikTok page, my For You page on Own Sheltering Shelly is completely different to, like, my usual TikTok account because it's all just positive stuff coming into it. It's actually really nice.
That's class, like.
Yeah. It's like just motivating and niceness and whatever. Whereas my own thing would be, like, puppies, comedians, songs. Not that that's bad either, it's nice as well. But, like, I don't know, there's such a difference in that. But that's because on the Unsheltering page, I'm looking for motivational things to be putting out to motivate other people.
There you go. And like, but like you have control of what you can see.
Yeah.
And it's like social media. It's like anything. It's a tool.
Yeah.
If you want to look at it in that way, like, and you can use the tool to your advantage, or you can use a hammer to fucking hit yourself in the head, or you can use it to drive the nail in. Like,
yeah. Because like
same thing. Like, so it's you got to figure out how you especially filtering out what you don't like,
Exactly, yeah.
filtering out what's not serving you. Like if this triggers you or annoys you, just stop looking at that stuff.
Yeah. Like
Start
if
filling
you're,
it with motivational stuff and stuff that inspires you
yeah,
and actually entices you to do stuff. Like
yeah. Or I can go the absolute complete opposite. And like if you're looking up depressing things, it's only going to show you depressing things.
100%.
And then you're going to be so sad all the time because every time you look at your phone, you're just going to see depressing things. And then you're going to be like, oh my God, I hate social media because all it's showing me is depressing things.
100%. And what you focus on most is what you get. Like
Yeah,
if you focus on all the crap, that's what's going to happen. Like
yeah. So yeah, I feel like I'm talking a whole lot of rubbish right now.
no, I think there's a lot of good stuff in here for people. Like,
I hope.
but that's it. It's like as I said to you probably loads of times. Why I'm doing these podcasts, why I'm doing these interviews is like, if one person can watch this and they get one thing from you,
Something from it.
or something that I say, something that you say, if it benefits their life, then this is a huge success. Like,
Yeah,
like it's like I don't make money from this.
yeah,
I'm not sure where this is going to go, but like the aim is to help that one person, give them that one little thing.
yeah.
Because for me, like that's how I've learned so much from podcasts, listening to other people, and you take that one little thing, it changes your life. Like so,
Yeah, yeah.
I guarantee there's going to be people, as I say to you with your own TikTok, there's people watch Unsheltering Shelley that you might notice, but they're benefiting in a way. Like
I hope so.
the same as I say to you, like the same way you look at other people's Instagrams and you're inspired by them,
Yeah,
but you don't tell them like, oh hey, I'm so inspired by your stuff, you really changed my life.
I know. I'm actually
Okay,
such a
so it's-
hypocrite because I'm there going, why aren't people telling me they love me? And then I'm like, oh, I know, I actually don't interact with anybody on Instagram or anything.
There you
So
go.
I'm like, actually, I am them. So I'm trying to like interact a bit more.
That's it. But even like it's actually good to grow your page as well as to interact with those people
I
too.
know, yeah.
'Cause especially if
Yeah.
you like them, then the people that like them are going to probably like you because you're going to be
Yeah.
somewhat sharing the same stuff. Like
Yeah.
there you go. Like
Yeah.
I had a point in my head. I was going to make it. I always make this,
You should have spoken faster. Come on,
Yeah.
man.
but I want to give you time to speak and let you speak and just let because this is about you, like not about me, like.
Oh my God.
But then I just forget what's on my mind.
Just because I keep talking for hours.
Maybe it's time to move on to something a little bit different.
Do you know whenever there's an awkward silence, I don't know if anyone else did this, but the awkward turtle?
What's
If there's ever like an
what's this
awkward,
about?
if there's ever like an awkward silence, I don't know. I think Tig showed it to me once, and I just clung onto it. Not that I actually ever do it, but if there's an awkward silence, you just go,
And everyone starts laughing then, yeah.
yeah, pretty much kind of ruins the silence. But it's like the awkward turtle, and then there's the awkward giraffe. No, that's a snail.
Snail? Yeah.
Yeah, snail. And then there was the giraffe. No, I think I might have made
I
that
must be
up.
very uncultured because I've never.
I don't think anyone actually. I think I might have made that up. I don't know. Or Tig might have made it up. I'm blaming Tig for it. Tig's going to come back to
Tig's
me.
like a trendsetter, like.
I know, yeah. Tig's going to be like, I never said that, not once. And I'm like, well, that's on the podcast now.
She looks up to big man.
Oh, jeez. Well, like, I copy quite a lot of what he does. Oh, like,
Really?
yeah. I can't even
Well,
say I'm
you don't
not
copy.
copying.
Remember we said you're not copying them. You're taking, or was it with someone else I was talking with this with maybe? You don't copy people. You take
Inspiration.
you take inspiration from them and you put your own spin on it. It was actually in my most recent podcast with James Crowley. Ironically, it's with James Crowley. You can check it on the YouTube or Spotify.
Yeah.
Most recent episode. Very, very interesting episode.
Plug.
But we're saying like he takes, like we learn from other people, and like you could say you copy them, but you take the information that they're teaching, but you put your own spin on it, like, you know. So like you're not copying Tig, you're taking inspiration from your big brother and putting your own spin on it. So yeah, well, so what are some of the things though that you?
Been inspired by.
Yeah,
He did a half marathon. He did a photo shoot. He did social media. All of what I'm doing right now. He didn't drink till he was 22. I didn't drink till I was 22. That was a competition though, so that was different.
you in by a couple of days, was it?
2 weeks.
Oh, 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. Every day counts. What else do I copy or inspire? I don't know. There's a lot there. All right. I just can't remember it. I suppose he's a big outgoing personality. I am also a big outgoing personality. I say this, if you meet me in the deli in Duns and I'm not talking, I'm just tired. Take no notice. I usually am chatty.
But that's the thing. It's like you can see people, so they might, most of the time, they might be outgoing and
Yeah.
like you're always high energy outgoing. Like,
I think
there's
so.
going to be times when you're down, you're going to be feeling like shit. Like,
Yeah, because I'm
same with me. Like, people look at me like, oh, you're always so full of energy, lad.
yeah,
Even though I'm like 99% of the time, but then there's times I'll just be lying in my bed like,
dead.
yeah.
Yeah, because I'm always so scared. Now that I've done like the unsheltering Shelly, I put myself out there, whatever. And like any of my videos, I like to think that they're like happy, positive, even if they're like me saying today was shit.
Authentic.
I think there's still like a bit of happiness vibes from it.
Bit of energy there, yeah.
I'm sorry, that was really rude. But I'm always like, oh my god, if that person actually met me downtown, I just walked past, and like the amount of people who's even said, "Oh, I see your TikToks," I'm like, "Oh, thanks," and I just go so quiet. I don't even know how to talk to people, and then I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna be so disappointed in like me.
So what you should do, the best thing is like, oh, thanks for the support. What's your favourite thing about them? That's like, if people say I love your stuff, that's just what I say. Is like, just get them talking. See what they like. So then you can learn from them. Be like, oh, they like this stuff, so I'll do more of this stuff.
Yeah, but you know what? There's also that Irish thing of, oh, I've seen that she has that profile. Never once looked at it, but sure, look, we'll acknowledge it. Like, so if I quiz them, then they'll go, oh shit, actually, I haven't watched anything, but I like your profile photo. Do you know that way? It's kind of like, you don't want to put them on the spot either in case they actually haven't watched and they're just saying it for the sake of saying something like.
That's actually true. There's been a few times I've asked someone, is like, just not like interrogating.
Yeah,
like,
just simply make
and what's been like your favorite? Maybe like what's been like one of your favorites or something. Like, and they wouldn't have an answer. Like, but you know, not everyone's going to see all of your stuff either, though.
Exactly.
So
like it's
they might know you do a certain thing. Like, doesn't mean that they have to be watching all your stuff. Like,
yeah. So like I've had a few people being like, oh, I love watching your running content, or like how happy and bubbly you are, and I love to get readies with me or whatever. And I'm like, okay, grand. But like I wouldn't ask them because I'm like, what if they actually don't watch me and they're just saying it for the sake of just simply being nice?
I hear you. What's been the best thing about having Unsheltering Shelly since the 1st of January? Like, what have been some of the best things that have come out of that page?
My confidence has just boomed. It's a strange one because like last year, if I was to even hear my voice on recording, I'd be like, that's horrendous.
I hear you are shooting a
podcast.
An hour and 15-minute podcast.
Yeah. So I'm kind of like, this year is like, or even like, if I was to take a picture of my full-length body, I'd be like, that is horrendous. Whereas now this year, because I have to put up, not that I have to.
You don't have to, you get to.
I get to. Because...
By the time later, you will be in that mindset of like, I don't have to, I get to.
Oh, Jesus, I don't know. But like, because I have, because I get to. I get to
See,
look
you're already getting it.
at my body and whatever to put up that post or whatever. And because I want to be real and be me, as much me as possible, and not only show like me in a dress
highlights
from the good lighting or the good poses or whatever, and have like actual me going in my head, because there's so many things that like my belly's on show, or like you can see that I have a belly, and I'm like in my head going, oh my god, I can't believe I put that up on social media. I can't believe I put that up for every single person in the world to see if they want to see it. It freaks me out, but I'm kind of after getting over it a bit more. Or like small things like actually having pictures up of me with no makeup on, with my hair like a bloody afro, like all these different things that I'm like, do you know what? I actually don't look that bad. Kind of accepting myself a bit more.
Or you would have been like...
Before I would have been like, that's horrendous, don't even look at me. Like, yeah. Like, before, if I was in a group photo, I wouldn't even look at it because I'm like, I'm not going to look good in it anyway, so just take the photo, do what you want with it. I'm not going to be putting it anywhere. And if there's by chance a nice photo that I like, then I'm like, that's plastered everywhere because it's so rare. Whereas now I'm like, I have so many photos of myself. I'm like, oh, yay, look how vain I am.
There you go.
You know, because I just constantly have to look at myself, which is like a weird thing for me to kind of get my head around, because I'm like, I used to hate myself. Not hate myself. That's a really bad way to put it. I used to hate looking at myself, except for when I had makeup and tan on. That was the only time I ever loved myself. Do you know? Whereas now I'm like more accepting of me, my body, kind of accept more what my body's doing for me. And like I'm doing things that so many other people don't do. Now, on saying that, like when I'm doing something and I'm in a group of people, then I'm like, oh God, I'm not anything spectacular at all. Like, but as soon as I'm at that group of people, I'm like, yeah, I'm fantastic. I'm amazing. I don't know. It's a weird thing, but definitely the Unsheltering Shelly has brought that much confidence in me that, do you know what, I actually can do things. Like, if you told me last year that I'd run 5k in 22 minutes and 40 seconds, I would have laughed in your face. If you told me last year that I was going to do a half marathon, I would have laughed in your face and said, not a hope. I'll put a bet on it that I will not do that run. Like, maybe walk a half marathon, not run it. Or if I was to run it, I'd be running 3 out of the 21.1 kilometers, like, and walk the rest of it in between. Like, not a hope. Whereas doing the Unsheltering Shelly has made me accountable. Like, there was a stage there that, like, my calves just were in constant pain. And that was back in February or March. And, like, if that was me last year, running would have gone out the window.
We would just given up on everything.
I would have just given up. I would have been like, look, my calves are giving up, so I should give up. Like. Yeah. Whereas I went to physio, got it fixed, and I'm running again. Do you know?
I hear you.
There would never been that, like, well, I'm after saying it, so
there's almost that little bit more mental strength now as well to kind of push through any little challenges that come.
Definitely. And in like the last week or so, I feel like I'm after getting that, like, mentally stronger again.
So even noticing it now on a weekly basis, like?
Definitely in the last 2 weeks. I've definitely seen a change. I don't really know what the change is. I can't pinpoint what it is. But there's definitely been, like, a change.
Is this some more positive energy there or something?
Yeah, definitely have something. Now, like, last week I had a week off work, so that could have been majority of it. But, like, definitely have a bit more of a, I actually can do anything I put my mind to. I don't know what it is, but there is that, like, bit of, yeah, I can do that. Like, I'm after signing up for the skydive. Absolutely petrified of heights, but I just can't wait for it. Whereas, again, last year I would have shot myself. I would have been, like, petrified. But, like, I'm just like, I can't wait. The adrenaline is going to, like,
it'll be crazy.
Take over, like, it's going to be crazy. Or I don't even, like, I don't even know what else. There's definitely other things that I'm not even thinking of that I'm like, I can't believe I did that, like.
There you go, like.
Yeah.
And so, like, a year ago, you were almost hating how you looked, or hating, like, you were just...
Yeah.
I still have. You'd fall at the first hurdle when you had to do things.
Yeah.
And, like, zero confidence.
Yeah.
To now, like, 1st of January, like, you took that step to start the page.
Yeah.
Confidence started to build, started running, started doing things that were, like, almost crazy to before.
Yeah.
Started trying new things, and now all of a sudden you're kind of on this upward trajectory.
Yeah. But even the fact that I've actually stayed consistent with the uploading. Now, like, I was way more consistent at the beginning. I was doing once a day, Monday and Friday, post. But, like, I don't know whether the videos just weren't great. I don't know. Like, I loved most of the videos. There was videos that I was, like, just throwing up for the sake of throwing them up, like.
I hear you.
Whereas I feel like definitely in the month of April, I haven't been posting half as much, but I feel like the videos are better. I don't know.
Quantity is down, but the quality is up.
I think, maybe. Or maybe I'm just being really, like...
I suppose emotionally, and you're able to put more energy into the actual videos then, instead of forcing yourself to just put loads of quick ones together. You're actually able to build up to make some good ones.
Like, I feel like I'm, like, the last few videos that I've posted now, I've actually been, like, even when I'm editing them, even though I'm constantly looking at the exact same video, and it's, I hate editing. But I almost still feel happy editing them, because I'm like, oh, I love doing that. Like, I did the video on Monday from when I did the 10K on Saturday. And like, I was still like kind of on a buzz from it because I was still watching the video. I was like, oh, that was great crack. And like, even something as simple as like, there in the video, I like take a quick selfie of me and my friend and like just seeing my smile. I'm like, I remember being so happy. You know, being so
You're able to
excited.
live that emotion again, like
Yeah.
live that feeling again.
It's kind of fun. And it almost makes me happy while I'm editing, which I find so weird. Or like there was another video I put out. Wow, video was it? There was a video last week. It was a video introducing the skydive, and I'm literally in the sitting room, standing, and I'm just kind of bouncing and bubbly. And even like if I was to rewatch that now, I'd still kind of get that energy back. Do you know? Whereas then there's other videos where I'm like, oh, today I did this and I'm going training. Come train with me or whatever. And it's just like, oh yeah, I'm going training. Then I'm like, oh, I'm mentioning this for the sake of just putting up a post, like, and it's just a job that I have to get done.
I hear you.
You know, I don't know, and I like it definitely comes true in the video. My energy, I don't know.
100%, yeah.
I don't know. But then like I have like one or two videos where I'm like, I'm exhausted, stay away. Or I just had a crap day, but this is just reality. And like you can sense it through those videos as well. But like that is the point of that video.
Best thing,
Without
people see
being,
both
like,
sides then, like,
sad. Yeah.
people can actually relate. Be like, oh, she's actually a normal person. Thank
Yeah.
God someone's actually normal on this fucking
Yeah.
TikTok.
Exactly. Or like there's one video I keep laughing because all the girls at work are like, that is such a morbid video. But I was like actually really happy videoing it, and it was something like, if you died today, would you be happy with the life you're living? If not, just change it. Which I thought was quite positive and quite
100%,
like
yeah, it's a great way of looking at
motivating. And they were like, that's so morbid. You're literally talking about death. And I'm like, but it was a nice message though, if you look at it
it.
properly.
That's it. It's all about how you look at it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's all about how you look at things. If you look at it in most people, majority of, especially Irish people, just have that mentality of looking at it from the negative way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, no, let's just look at it from, let's try and find a positive message that you were trying to put out, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
as in showing people how they can actually change and almost giving people urgency as to why they should change, like,
Exactly. See, like,
not taking it as a personal attack against them, like.
yeah, but like, I think, again, I don't know. I actually haven't even looked at the statistics, but like, I think that first line of "if you died today" is going to grasp people's attention because I'm like, why would I die today? Where is
Yeah,
this
that's like
going?
the number one biggest human subconscious fear, isn't it? Is death.
Yeah. So, and then it's like, actually, shit, yeah. I actually have quite a lot of like regrets. I actually don't think I would be happy if I died right now.
What's one last point or one last piece of advice you want to share, or one quote or something that's kind of helped you over the last while that you want to share to all our lovely audience?
Stop saying no and get that fuck it mentality.
Nice.
I think so.
Michelle O'Donovan, everybody, let's give it. Beautiful. Nice job.